Ito ang susunod na kakalabanin ni Pacquiao sa July ng taong ito. At alam na ng madla ang legendary accomplishments ni Pacquiao. Ngunit, noon pa ito, Pacquiao is already a 46-year-old guy. At sabi nga nila, boxing is a young man's sports.
Barrios is no slouch. Barrios is a young fighter, bigger fighter, knows how to, control distance very well, can punch a little bit. Like, he's no easy task for anybody in the welterweight division. And for Manny to come back after this long and to face a young guy like that is dangerous.
Boxing fans, maligayang pagbabalik. Ano nga ba ang bentahan ni Mario El Azteca Barrios at maraming nagsasabi na this is the most dangerous fight for Pacman sa mga panahong ito.
I'm gonna be ready for whatever he brings come fight night.
Of course, considering Manny Pacquiao's age. Mario Barrios is the current WBC welterweight champion of the world. Dati man tinalo ni Gervonta Davis, pero nakipagsabayan naman kay Turman at tinalo ang last conqueror ni Pacman na si Yordenis Ugas.
Barrios seemingly putting an exclamation point on what would be the biggest win of his career.
Ika nga, Mario Barrios is a very live dog. At bakit nga ba may posibilidad na masaktan si Pacman dito?
I'm confident in my abilities. I'm confident in my skills. I've been boxing since I was 6 years old. If I'm not comfortable with stepping in there with whoever, and holding my own, why have I been doing this so long? I've never been afraid to test myself.
Ang mindset niya at ang maaaring makatulong sa kanya ay ang confidence niya sa kanyang abilities against a 46-year-old Pacman. Ito ang wika niya.
So that was the reason why I took these past two big fights. And then when I moved up, my first fight was Keith Thurman, which was a fight that everybody was saying like, oh, why are you taking this fight? You should have had a tune-up, blah blah blah. But again, I'm in this sport to test myself. And I had the confidence, going into that fight, that again, like I could hold my own with whoever.
And these are the reasons kung bakit Mario Barrios fought Davis, Turman, at Ugas na mga kapwa boxing stars din. Sa 62% knockout rating, dalawa lang ang talo ni Mario Barrios. At sino ba naman ang makakalimot sa last big victory ni Pacquiao against Turman? With the same opponent, Barrios fought valiantly against Keith Turman.
I'm always, willing, to take, the bigger risk, the more risky fight.
Nakikipagsabayan at may isang punto din na nasaktan niya si Turman sa katawan.
I know it hurt him to the body, because I could see in his face, I could see in his demeanor, how Ness said, he started to move, which is like fucking crazy. Because when you get hit with a body shot, it's hard to move. And then I see him like clawing at like his face with his glove, and I'm like, man, what the fuck is he doing? Trying to chase him down, trying to get him. And then I see him pull his mouthpiece, and I was like, oh man, this fucking dude, like, it's smart. It really is like a smart move,
And talking about body shots, Mario Barrios loves going to the body.
Yeah, this is early in the round.
And this will be a point that Pacquiao needs to take note. With his 46-year-old body, mahihirapan na si Pacman.
Body shots, body punches, and just investing in the body early on. I've just always been that fighter. I've always loved stopping people with the liver shot. Just the whole reaction, everything about it. It's beautiful, and it's one of those things that only certain boxers can relate to, with taking a liver shot. It's a hell of a shot.
And Mario Barrios is just crazy over attacking the body.
I see in your fight, you utilize the body. Is that something you train for, like specifically, or is that just something you've developed?
It's something we worked on, since the amateurs. They consider that part of the Mexican style. Just attacking the body, breaking down the fighter, from the beginning of the round. And especially in the amateurs, I would use body shots all the time. most of my stoppages in the amateurs, they were just from body shots, because it's hard to knock someone out, with the headgear and everything. So I mean, my coach, my dad, he would always, tell me like, nah, just kill the body. I mean, so from the very first round, that's the only thing I would go for. So by the second and third round, I mean, even in the amateurs, my opponent usually didn't have much left, like let alone in the pros, with the smaller gloves now,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love body shots.
At kahit in love si Barrios sa body shots, ayaw na ayaw din niya makatanggap nito. Again, this is a point to Pacquiao that maybe instead of going to the head of Barrios, dapat i-consider din ni Pacman ang katawan din ng Mexicano.
I just don't like taking them myself. And it depends where you get hit too, because I mean, there's like the notorious liver shot. I mean, if you get hit there, I mean, it's something you can't even explain. You just have to experience yourself. Like when you get hit with the liver shot, I mean, I've been dropped before in sparring, like early in my career. He caught me, I think, in the 6th round, with a liver shot, and I mean, he sat me on my ass. I mean, not even on my ass. I was crawling on the floor because it literally it shuts down your body.
Wow.
And it was like a delayed reaction. Like he hit me, so like I stepped, I tried to take a few steps, and
Yeah,
it
they
just
just
like
take the knee.
then I just like.
At ito nga ang naganap nung tinamaan siya ni Gervonta Davis sa katawan noon.
Took that shot when I fought Tank, and man, it took everything for me to try to get up from So I know exactly what that does to fighters, and it is has always been one of my favorite punches.
Barrios is a 6-foot boxer at may 4 inches advantage over Pacquiao. And Barrios may take a Yordenis Ugas approach at kalabanin si Pacquiao sa labas at mid-ranges ng boxing ring na hindi magiging pabor kay Pacman. And at this age, diminish na ng konti ang explosiveness ni Pacquiao. However, in one of his interviews din, nagpahayag si Barrios na problema din niya ang mga fighters na di masyadong matangkad gaya ni Gervonta Davis na halos kasing tangkad lang ni Pacquiao.
Yeah, man, it was just so quick and so elusive, man. It was kind of like you see him like here, then you see him there, and then the size difference too between us. He was way under my punches to begin with. So it was just like, I just knew I had to be like super careful.
And this might be something that Pacquiao can consider na gawin niyang mas elusive ang game plan niya at pahirapan si Barrios sa katawan. Ngunit ang issue, Father Time is undefeated. And sa recent performances ng ating pambansang kamao, ang explosiveness at blitz niya ay hindi na consistent. In between the exchanges sa last professional fight niya kay Ugas, we can see him staring instead of moving after his famous combinations. But there's something that Pacquiao can take advantage of. Ating panoorin ang interviewing ito ni Barrios kung saan kinuwento niya ang panahon na nasaktan siya ni Gervonta Davis.
My corner, they saw me after the fight, like, man, like, you should have held, or like you should have like wrapped him up, to like, so you could have like stabilize yourself, so like
After the first knockdown.
Yeah.
Gotcha,
So that's
yeah.
what I mean. They were telling me even with the when I was dropped the second time, but I don't know, man. In those moments, it's like fight or flight, and my initial reactions and reflexes, man, are to sit there and fight.
Mahilig makipagsabayan si Mario Barrios. And this can be something that Pacquiao can utilize, as Pacquiao tends to do better sa mga fighters na umaatake at offensive-minded. At isa pang dapat malaman ni Pacquiao, matatag ang puso ni Barrios. When Gervonta Davis exploded that body shot on him, palaban si Barrios at ayaw palupig sa sakit.
That's the fighter I am. Like, I mean, anytime I step in that ring, it don't matter who you are. Like, I mean, I'm not scared to sit there and go fucking blow for blow with anybody.
Yeah.
Like, when I'm in the ring, that's when I'm most comfortable. Like, I mean, no matter who you are.
At dahil palaban nga ito, madalas natatamaan siya. And most boxing observers will say that madaling mamaga ang mukha ni Mario Barrios kumpara sa mga normal na boxers. With his fight against Akhmaidov, magang-maga ang mukha ni Barrios. And with Maidana, a swollen right eye was evident throughout the round. And with his last fight against Ramos, Barrios experienced a busted nose and obvious facial injuries. And we know when Pacquiao hits his mark a lot of times, game over ang mukha ng kalaban. And you can ask Margarito about it. Ngunit sabi nga natin, malakas ang loob ng batang ito. Atin pang alamin ang kaisipan ni Mario Barrios.
The rev go from 4 and then to 5, and I was like, fuck, like push myself up. I mean, I still wish, he would have let the fight continue, and I mean, because that's how I would have wanted it. And there's a reason why I kept getting up.
Yeah.
I mean, because I was gonna keep coming, but I mean, that's not what happened.
What's like the one thing going through your mind when you see like a fist just flying towards your face?
You want to try to avoid it, but I mean, if it lands, I mean, it lands. I
You
mean,
just kind of take it.
yeah, it's funny because I mean, going into the fight, I mean, a lot of times in the first round, I actually I need to get hit, in order
To kind of wake you up.
yeah, exactly, to
Yeah, I
get
get you.
into the fight fully.
Narinig nyo ba? I need to get hit. His warrior mentality can be a factor for his victory over Pacquiao at maaari ding maging bangungot na ito if Pacquiao can be at his peak on that night.
I need to get hit, in order
To kind of wake you up.
yeah, exactly, to
Yeah, I
get
get you.
into the fight fully. But I mean, for the most part, I mean, other than that, I mean, I try not to. I mean, if I get hit, like a lot of times, just it's like a switch. I want to get it back right away, which gets me into those Mexican wars.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Which,
like
I mean-
Morales, Barrera.
Yeah. So me personally, as a fighter, like I love that shit. But I mean, of course, my corner, they don't want to see me in there taking punches. So
Yeah.
like, they want me to fight as smart as possible. Which I mean, I try to.
Ating napagtanto ngayon na this will be an all-around action fight and might be the real last fight for the Pac-Man. At may na-discover pa tayo kay Barrios na masusurpresa kayo talaga. Atin siyang dinggin.
Who is your all-time favorite boxer and who is your current favorite boxer?
I mean, when I was growing up, two of the fighters I really loved watching was Juan Manuel Marquez and Sergio Martinez. They're both very 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 technical boxers. Even Marquez, for being a Mexican, man, he wasn't one that would just go in there, just
Great counter punching.
great counterpuncher, man. Like his uppercut too is something I really admired. Which is why I would always try to mimic it. But I mean, the way he throws it just goes with his stance and everything.
Everything, yeah.
Ang nemesis ni Pac-Man na si Juan Manuel Marquez ang iniidolo ni Mario Azteca Barrios. If Barrios pulls off a win, it could feel like a continuation of the Mexico versus Philippines rivalry, with Marquez's influence living on through him. Kumbaga, baka makakuha si Barrios ng inspiration at mental edge dito, and perhaps ito na lang ang makokonsidera ng madla na parang Pacquiao versus Marquez 5 type na laban na kailanman hindi naibigay ni Marquez kay Pacquiao noon. At kung nawili kayo sa content at mga discovery natin ngayon, subscribe at suntok sa like for more boxing stories like this. Salamat, ka-boxing tayo.
Boxing.